Yeah, hello everyone. So before we start the class, do you have any doubts regarding our yesterday's lecture? It is inheritance and polymorphism, and we have also learned regarding the constructors also. So do you have any doubts there? Okay, if not, let's discuss on abstraction today. So abstraction, this is also an object-oriented programming concept which is used within Java. So when do we use abstraction is to hide the internal details and showing only the functionality to the user. So if let's say if we three people are working together and you as user one, me as user two, and the third person as user three, if user one is writing the code, user one will write the code only to show that this class is this class is providing some functionality. Like let's say if we writes a functionality for car, we know that car moves, car sounds horn, and car lights light up. Let's say these three functionalities. So user one will write only a simple car class, and he'll only mention the functionalities. How to how what horn the car should make and how the car should move and how the lights are lighting up everything. The exact functionality, like the exact implementation, will be taken care by the end user, by the second user. And whatever user 2 has written, if they want to test, user 3 can test it using a different method. So the process of hiding the internal details which user 2 has written, because user 2 is the one who knows how the car should move, how the car should sound the horn. User 1 does not know. User 1 only knows that car will make some sound and car will move. So the process of hiding those internal details and showing only the functionality to the user is called as abstraction. So it's the process of hiding certain details and showing only essential information to the user. Abstraction can be achieved with either abstract classes or interfaces. So today we're going to learn two different and new concepts: abstract class and an interface. So these are few rules where when you're writing an abstract class, it must be declared as abstract with using an abstract keyword. So whenever you write something called as abstract, that abstract keyword will be in bold in your IDE. So it can have abstract and non-abstract methods. Abstract classes can have abstract method as well as a non-abstract method. What is an abstract and non-abstract? We are going to discuss in detail. And these classes cannot be instantiated. Meaning, how do you instantiate a class? You create a class object name equal to new class. This is called as your class instantiation. So if you declare your abstract class, like if you declare your class as abstract, you cannot instantiate the class. Okay, so they can have constructors and static methods, they can have final methods, and a class can extend a class, an interface can extend an interface, but a class will implement an interface. Um, Hold on just a minute. Yeah. So if you can see here, rectangle is, you can see this C. C means class. A class will extend a class. C. A class can extend a class, an interface can extend an interface. Interface will extend an interface, but if you want to extend an interface, that's not possible. You need to use the implement keyword. The class will implement an interface. So, like when you're writing your codes, make sure you know the keywords. What is extends and what is implements. Mm, Let me create a new package called oops.abstraction. Within this, I'll create a class called shape, and I'm going to mark it as abstract here. Just click on abstract and finish. So if you can see here, this is an abstract class where like whatever class or method has an abstract keyword, that means it's an abstract class or abstract method. So for now, I'm just removing the public modifier also, and I'm defining a color to my shape. and I'll write some abstract method. So shape will have an area. The difference between a concrete method and an abstract method is abstract methods will not have a body. So let's say if you have double cal area, this is okay return. So this is called a concrete method. Concrete methods are the methods which have a predefined return type, which have a method name and also a method body under the braces. Abstract methods are the ones which do not have method bodies. So wherever you see um, a method without any body, straight away just mark it as that's an abstract method. So now within my PPT, we told that abstract class can have abstract and non-abstract methods. So let me put something as public.
వాళ్ళు అన్నారు బ్రో.
You can mute. So as we discussed yesterday, a method name which is having same as a class name and which does not have a return type, this is called as a constructor. So I have defined a constructor within my shape class. So this is a shape constructor. Okay, and
So we just took same as an class method name as the same class name, but there is no constructor, right? We didn't initialize any object, right? In order to specify the constructor.
you didn't specify the object meaning.
We need to initialize the object, right, in constructor. So that's what the concept is, right? When
Yeah, this is the color, right? I'm initializing it. I'm initializing the color with this color. So when I call my shape constructor from a different class, then the color will be initialized to this color.
Okay, so okay. So color means this dot color, that color it says an object.
Yeah, we are assigning the color from a different class to this color. Like like if you call a shape constructor, right, from a different class, that color will be assigned to this color within a shape class.
But that is not a different class, right? But that is from abstract class, from the same package.
I didn't even call the shape constructor till now. We just declared. We just opened up a constructor here.
Okay.
So these are abstract methods. Do not have a method body. Abstract classes can have constructors and they can also have concrete methods.
So is it not mandatory that when abstract methods comes into play, that in order to execute the program, we need main method? Technically, main method is a if our program needs to execute inside the main method only, right? We will declare everything and we will generate the output statements.
Right. So if you see, and I'm getting an echo. Just a minute. Durbabu Chindala. So if you see our previous lectures also, we have something called as test class.
Yes.
So we're creating the main method only in the test classes
Yeah.
for clear testing. So now after we complete the abstraction concept, right, I'll create a test class and I'll show you the testing of it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Got it? Yep. So now let's see this class is created by user one. Okay, created by user one. So that user one knows only one thing. He knows, okay, my shape class, my shape should have some color and it should be able to calculate some area, provided some inputs. So now user two will come in. Okay, he'll simply define a shape. This is a public class, and now circle is a class. So if I want to extend my shape is also an abstract class. I'll use extends keyword, and if I type this, you'll see an error here stating that you're extending something from an abstract class. So you need to explicitly uh, write some predefined methods here. Just click on add constructor. It will resolve the error here. Now see, add unimplemented methods. Just click on that. Everything your IDE will take care.
Okay.
Okay. Now yesterday you asked me regarding the super keyword, right?
Yes.
So and yesterday itself I told you that super keyword is the keyword used to call call methods or constructors from your super class. So circle is a subclass and shape is a superclass. So if I just hover on it and click on control, and if you open the implementation out of it, it will directly go to the shape constructor.
Okay.
Getting it? Why did it go only to this method? Because my shape constructor is expecting something called as color, and I pass the color here. So it tells me that, okay, I'm going to call a constructor which is having color as an input. So this color will be assigned to my color of the shape. Getting it?
Yeah.
Cool. Now the class name is same as my method name. So this is called our constructor. Just for our illustration purpose, I'm just printing it. This is a circle constructor, and now user one has simply written something called as shape, and he only wanted, like, he only knows that shape will have a color. But user two, who's writing the circle class, he knows that, okay, shape has something called as a radius. Okay, but user one does not know, because like he doesn't even care, like what shape is extending his own class. He only knows that, okay, whoever is implementing me or extending me, that shape should have some color, and it should be able to calculate the area. That's all user one knows. So user two, he knows the functionality of circle, so hence he wants the radius. So he created a variable called radius, and then within the constructor, he'll just type this dot radius equal to radius. So whoever is calling a circle constructor, they need to pass something called as radius. Right? So like, since I cannot assign the same thing, double radius. Right. So whoever is calling a circle constructor, they need to pass some color and they need to pass the radius. So with that, my circle object will be created. Now, if I go and calculate the area of the circle, it is half pi r square, right? So math dot pi, this will give me the pi value, pi r square. So we math dot power of radius. How many times? 2 times. So this is just a simple formula. That is pi r square, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Math dot power dot radius. That's it. Now if I open now just see, user 2 knows the functionality. That's why he implemented it using the shape. But user 1 does not know that okay, whoever is calculating the area that it should be pi r square. User 1 does not know. Only user 2 knows. That's why we mentioned it clearly in the PPT that we are hiding the internal details and showing only the functionality. That's the meaning. Simply create a test class out of it. Test shape. Because I'm testing it, I need to have a main method and shape s1 equal to new circle. Now if you see, if I give circle here, it is expecting two parameters, the color and the radius. How are we getting this? This is due to the constructor which we have defined it there. So if you just hover on the circle and click on control, if you click on implementation, it will go to this constructor. Okay, so constructors are used for initialization itself, but if you want to assign something, this constructor should be called from some other class. This constructor should be called from your testing class. So this is how you call it. So let's put the color as red, and let me put the radius as some 20. Now I can print color of circle is s1 dot toString, put a space. This is and area is put a plus s1 dot area. Okay, you're getting the object here, right? Just a minute. Let me give the toString here. I'll explain you what is the toString also. Just a minute. So now I don't have radius here, but I want to know the color of my circle. So color is in shape object, shape class. So simply make use of the super keyword, super dot color. That's it. If you use super dot color, then if you are printing toString, it will print the super dot. It will print the color of your circle. So color of the circle is red and area is so and so. So if you see the output hierarchy, this is a shape constructor, meaning the very first time this is called. After that, your circle constructor is called this one. After that, it printed this one. So for the very first initialization, did you understand the flow, or I can just issue a debug and let you know.
Yeah, once debug, it will go to step by step, right? So then we can.
Got it. So in Eclipse, you can use the debug option from here. So if you just click on debug test shape, switch. So now we are in the main method. Whatever which is in green, that is the correct line of execution. You can use F6. F6 means it goes to the next line. So whenever I clicked on F6, the immediate line is this one, the shape constructor, because what am I calling? I'm calling a circle. Now circle in turn, oh, just a minute. I could have put it here itself. Just a minute. Okay, now F5. So it came to my circle constructor, and from my circle constructor, I'm calling my constructor of my shape using the super keyword. So if I click on F6, it comes to my shape constructor. It will assign the color. What is the color? Just hover on your color object, you'll get the red, because this red is being passed from my test shape.
Yeah.
I'm passing the red. Now after the color is assigned, it will again come back to circle. If you see the color, this color is set to red now. Now radius also I'm passing from my test shape, that is 20.0. So the radius will be set here. After that, yeah, now my complete S1 object is set here. So color is red, radius is 20. So with this S1 object, I'm going to calculate the area. If I click on F6 again, it is coming to area. Now it will calculate the based on my formula, pi into r square, and it will print the output. Did you get the flow now?
Yes.
How it is jumping between the classes?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it clear for everyone?
So this is same like yesterday what we did for inheritance, that we extend, but in the final method only we are we are implementing all the exact output as per the classes we declared in the previous methods or previous class files.
Okay. Yeah. Now, since because you asked that out, let me do it in this way. I'm in my inheritance package. Okay. Now, my rectangle class is extending polygon, and I'll not write any method within my class. Do you see any? Do you see any error here?
No.
No, right? So
No.
even if I have a method or not, that doesn't care for me. Like this class will not care. But now you go to circle. Circle is extending your shape. If I remove this, you'll get an error here.
Yeah.
You're extending an abstract class. That means this must implement a functionality, because we know that abstract class will only provide a functionality. It will not provide implementations. It will only tell that shape should have some color and shape should have some area, but it will never tell that what color the shape should have and what area that the shape should have. That's why if you don't provide any of these functionalities, right, it will straight away throw you an error.
Okay.
Right. So let's say now you define the color of it, but you don't want to calculate the area. Again, it will throw in an error. The type circle must implement the inherited abstract method shape.area, because your shape does not have any implementation for it. So if your class is extending an abstract class, it must have implementation for all the methods. That is the difference between your like yesterday's inheritance and today's abstraction.
Okay.
Right. Any other doubts, or can we move forward? Like, I'll just create a
Yeah,
vector.
I'm good.
We can move it. Okay. Everyone, you can put in
Yeah.
the chat window. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So you can similarly create a rectangle class. Again, since rectangle will have length it will have width. You can use the Alt Shift S shortcut key to initiate a constructor. Simply generate it, and if you call the super keyword, it will call the default constructor. If you pass color here, color should come from your calling method. Okay, this should extend shape. Done.
I think that over there it's a rectangle, there is some error.
Yeah, tell me what is error now.
We are extending the shape. So some keyword shape error. Once can you click on shape?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Abstract. As it is abstract method, right? So we need to derive some abstract keyword.
Very good. So use the override, and since abstract methods need to be implemented, I need to have a specific implementation here. Return length into width. Done. Again, I'm getting one more error. It's again the same thing because my shape has this toString method, right? Override.
So what is the purpose of override over there in this class?
Yeah, I will explain you. I'll explain you. Overriding means these methods will have the same method name. We are going to override the functionality. That's also a different concept where you have overriding and overloading of methods, upcasting and downcasting.
Okay.
We are going to discuss them also. Okay, perfect. Shape. Oh,
So we didn't declare S2, right? S2 dot string, right? Maybe that is the error.
no, I just declared it.
Okay.
For a circle, it's calling 2 times the shape constructor, and for a rectangle, it's calling 2 times. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we discussed that abstraction can be achieved by either in abstract classes or interfaces. So you have something called as an interface, so that can be identified by with your interface keyword. Let me put a shape interface. So here you'll get an I symbol within your class name, and you see, like if you see your Java icons here, if it is a normal class, you have the normal Java icon, J icon. But if it's an abstract class, you will find something called as an A. If it is an interface, you have something called as I. Just based on the logos itself, you'll get to know, okay, what class are we going to work on.
Okay.
Right. So let's say I have, let me calculate area, and in that area, I want to pass a simple int A and string to string. Okay, the same thing. So I have an interface and I'm just defining 2 abstract methods here. Now, what if I type public void cal area Now, if you type this, like if you type this in your abstract class, it'll allow. You'll get no error here.
Okay.
But if you type that same thing in your interface, it will not allow. The reason is interface will think that all.
Can
Sorry.
Can you come again once back? Shape.
This is a shape, right?
Yeah.
Public. Now this is an abstract method because this does not have any body.
Yeah.
Okay. Now public void cal area and do something. Okay. So this is a concrete method because it is having a method body here.
Okay.
And I'm in my abstract class. So my abstract class can have abstract method, a constructor, and I can also have a concrete method, meaning a method bodies, methods with method bodies. If I use the same thing in my interface, it will not allow me because by default, abstract methods will not specify body. It's telling that abstract methods will not specify body, meaning interfaces by default use only abstract methods.
Okay.
That is what you can infer from here. So the only difference between your abstract class and your interfaces is abstract class can have abstract methods and concrete methods, but interfaces can have only abstract methods, nothing else. So I have some shape interface and I can simply just create some more. I'll create a class called shape, and shape IMPL means shape implementation. I told you that a class can extend a class, interface can extend an interface, but a class will only implement an interface. If I want to SHAPE, I have shape interface. If I use extends keyword, this will not be visible for me because I cannot extend an interface from a class. I can only implement. Use the implements keyword, click on shape. Now it will be visible for you, shape interface with identifier called I. Again, the same functionality. It will throw an error because your interface is having some methods which does not have any implementation. Click on add unimplemented methods. You'll get the area. If it is like I just gave it a random name, shape IMPL, you can put as a rectangle also. Let me put this way. Rename it as TNGLE rectangle shape. Because since I passed only one thing. That's it. Same thing. So when if you want to implement your interface, simply use the implements keyword, implement the shape interface, and just provide the implementation. Did you get this concept?
So we are returning math.py. So once can you click circle shape, that interface class? That is not interface. Shape interface is a class, the interface class, right?
Yes.
But the our class name is circle shape. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Your return type is double, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Since it's confusing for you, double x equal to. Now is this fine?
Yes.
I'm assigning it to a variable. Again, in the starting day, we discussed on variable usage, right? So if you're assigning something to a variable, that will use the space in heap memory. So we are using the we are using the x value only to store a value. You're not using it anywhere.
Okay.
Hence, you can directly assign this value to your return statement.
Okay. So that memory will save it, right?
You're saving a memory. Yes, you're not assigning it to a variable. So when you're doing your live coding, right, like in your real-time coding, don't unnecessarily just declare variables. And like if you declare variable, that means it's surely consuming some space there. Declare it only if you want to use it within a method. Else, directly use the function itself.
Okay.
So this is your abstraction. Class will action a class, interface actions interface, class will implement an interface. Polymorphism we discussed yesterday, and we are going to discuss the last concept in OOPS, that is your encapsulation. So binding or wrapping code and data together into a single unit is called as encapsulation. Capsule. If you take a small if you take a small tablet itself, right? Take a small capsule. Under that plastic perfume, you have all the medicine within it. So binding of all your medicines into a single capsule. That's your encapsulation. Similarly, binding all your Java source code into a single unit. That is called your encapsulation. So it will have a better control. It will have it has getters and setters. So it will provide a nice security and flexibility. So if you see, unknowingly, we have implemented a lot of encapsulation here itself. We are binding. See, if you see, all these are units of code: circle, circle shape, rectangle shape, interface, and test shape. All these are your units of code. All these units of code are binded together in something called as a package. And all the packages are bundled together in something called as SRC, source package. This is bundled in your Java project. So binding of all your data unit, binding of all your data into one single unit. So if I want to share my source code, what will I do? I simply copy this folder and I'll give it to you. And if you import it, you'll directly get this. You can simply expand everything and make use of them. This call is your encapsulation. So here you have something called as getters and setters. So the very first thing is a package. So merging everything into a single package. And next concept within the encapsulation is getters and setters. So why do we need getters and setters is, let me create a new class. And sorry. Mhm. Okay, I have these two classes. Close all tabs to left. Yep. Now, as a customer, I have something called as I have name. I have an age, private int, customer ID. Okay, let's say we have these three variables. So these three variables are marked as private, meaning these are accessible only within your class, within this class itself. Now I'll use something called as a getter and a setter. So Shift Alt S. Use the same keyword. CTRL S Alt S to generate constructor. You see constructor or getters and setters. This is the Eclipse shortcut. Use Alt Shift S. Click on generate getters and setters. Select all the fields and click on generate. Now, if you want to get the name within the customer class, you need to call getName method. GetName method is declared as public. So this getName method can be accessible anywhere within a project. So whenever you call customer.getName, you'll get the name. But you cannot call directly customer.name because customer.name is a private variable, and you cannot access a private variable outside your class. You want to set some name to your name within the customer. You need to add something. You need to call something called a set name. Call a set name, pass the name here, and then assign the name to your name. So get name and set name. Get age and set age. These are called your getters and setters. So this is called your getter. This is called your setter. Since this is a static code, right? Like whatever based on your attribute, you'll get the method names. That's why Eclipse has inbuilt functionality. If you just click on this key combination, and if you click on generate getters and setters, it will automatically generate for you based on the variable names. So the main purpose of this is tomorrow if someone is testing your application, main, and I want to work on customer class. So customer equal to new customer dot get name sys out. Now if you want to get the customer name, the first thing is null because I didn't initialize my string name to something. So default value is null. So what I can do is customer dot set name, pass the name as Java. Now if I run this, I get Java. If I type customer.name, it will not allow me because I'm trying to access my variable directly from my class. It will not allow me. This is how you have better control over your objects within your class. Always mark them as private and use public getters and setters. Based on that, you can simply control your data over there. Tomorrow, let's say you have something called as private string password. Okay. Now I'll type where is this getters and setters? Expand it. I only get the password. Okay. So now customer dot get password. If you see this method, from here you can only get the password. String pwd equal to customer dot get password. You'll get the password, that's it. But you cannot set the password because I didn't add a setter here. If I add a setter password here, I can simply override my customer password with this method. If I type customer dot set, obviously set password is not present here. Let's add that. I'll see I'll tell you the worst case of adding them. So suppose if you have a setter for your password, and there's some attacker who's just simply trying to do something in your code. He'll simply use this. Just because unknowingly you have added a setter method for your password, he'll simply get to know your password, and he can set the value of your password also. So it could be that disastrous if you don't use the getters and setters in a right way. Always mark them as private and use the getters and setters only if you need them. So for something as password functionality, you need not use a set method because that should come from the from your front end. You cannot allow anyone to set password for a different customer because that is his own password. But you can allow them to just get the password. That's it. Did you get the concept of the private variables and public getters and setters?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think we have past time. That's all for that. Tomorrow we are going to discuss. Tomorrow, mean on Monday, we are going to discuss on data hiding and access modifiers.
Bye bye.